Indeed so, James Child is the man in the middle tonight, and the two coaches, Ian Watson and Francis Cummins, they're both 41 years of age. Cummins is the older by 15 days. Watson approaching his third-year anniversary since taking over from Iestyn Harris here. Cummins was first into the Super League hot seat, though, and the coaching experience taking over from Mick Potter at the Bradford Bulls in 2012. So big 80 minutes on the way. It's going to be Widnes in their change jerseys tonight, mainly of white, a little bit of light blue on the shorts and on the sleeves. And first in to the action, of course, and leading the way there, Wella Haraki, wearing 39. He's on loan from Salford with Ed Chamberlain and Greg Burke, and making the trip in the opposite direction. And it all depends how these two sides start, really.
Well, you mentioned the start. Salford were poor last week at home. They dropped the ball twice in the first two sets of possession, both in their own half of the field. And on the second invitation, their opponents last week, Hull scored from it. Here they've got to the end of it and they've kicked, and I guess from the level they're at, that's a win.
Robert Louis with the kick downfield. It's collected by Danny Craven. His outstanding kicking game in the 24-16 home win against Salford in March. And I'm afraid he comes up with the first mistake. It's a knock-on.
We'll be looking for a big game, Danny Craven. A lot of people say that this is his natural position at fullback when he's getting up to play the ball. There was a bit of a hand in there from Chris Wellham. He gathers the ball back, it doesn't hit the ground, but it doesn't need to. When it comes up in the air, there was a hand in, but needs to have better grip and control on that ball, Danny Craven. First mistake goes in Widnes' favour.
And you see that for the second and third time, you can see the part that Chris Wellham played in that ball. Certainly the arm moved up and the ball came free. But Salford won't be disputing all of that. Here they come with Tyrone McCarthy, the Irish international. And at dummy half, it's Josh Wood. Lamatazi now will take it forward. It's an early test of this Widnes defence. Chris Houston, they'll be glad to see him back in the side. 33 years of age. He's missed the last 7. Standing there at marker. Now it's Robert Louis again. A little hop, skip and a jump before he goes into the tackle of Tom Gilmore. Wellham once again. And now George Griffin will take the ball forward. Solid enough so far from Widnes in defence after the early error. 4 tackles gone. Here is Louis. He's the playmaker. Got the short ball away. It's the last tackle. As Tazi gets to his feet again. Little dab through. The ball ricochets off the feet. Picked up by Joe Mellor. And Widnes survived that early examination of their defence.
Well, they're always dangerous, those players. When the ball's kicked on the ground, ricochets off a man, you could be thinking that it's going to go back into the pocket behind you. The reaction from Joe Mellor, knowing that the ball had come off Wella Haraki, he did really well to recover from that.
And now it's Widnes' turn to try and get themselves up the other end of the field if they possibly can. This is Jordan Johnston for them. Gets them to within 40-metre line after the first 4 tackles. Here goes Chapelhow. That's Jay Chapelhow, the two twins partnering themselves in the front row for the first time last week, and here they are for the second time. This is a high kick, and Little John, the 5th fullback for Salford, collects the 5th fullback this year for Salford.
That's right, yeah, although Casford had their 5th fullback last year, didn't they, with Callum Turner, and he didn't do a bad job, so the change doesn't necessarily mean the end for Salford. It's the second time, as you say, he's played at fullback. I'm interested with Jack Littlejohn, though, Eddie. We see last week he threw 2 passes playing in an unfamiliar position. Both were intercepted in the first half, and Hull went on to win that game convincingly. What impact will that have on his performance tonight? Will he be more nervous? Will he hold on to the ball? Or is he still going to have the confidence to throw that pass to his outside plays if he thinks the play's on?
Salford in possession again here then, and this is Greg Burke. It must be strange for Burke. Makes his Salford debut just a week after moving from Widnes on loan. And Louis with the high kick downfield. That's fielded nicely by Craven. Now he'll try and make amends for the early error. It's Wellham again on his back.
It will be strange for Greg Burke and Wella Haraki over on the other side, but it will be a great motivation for both players. And Ed Chamberlain on the bench, of course. I had the misfortune to get bumped from a few teams, and whenever I played against them, Eddie, I just had that little bit extra in my game, in my carries, in my hits. But some real bright sparks for Widnes in the early part of this game. That front row, I'm really enjoying, really like the look of that youthful front row. 2 Chapelhows in this play, Johnson.
Houston gets the ball away to Jay Chapelhow again. This is a good run from him. He had support From Houston on his right shoulder, he couldn't smuggle the ball out to him. Takes the tackle, that's tackle number 4. Here is Mella. This is Haraki again. Debut against Catalan Dragons last week for Wella Haraki. Ryan Ince now at dummy half. They're camped on the Salford line. Mella's kicked through. Oh, it's a horrible bounce, and it's the first try. It is the first try here for Tom Gilmore. Widnes get the start they must have been dreaming about. And Tom Gilmore coming back to the side after missing the last 3. He's only made 14 appearances now, and only made 10 in 2017. He's been dogged by injury, but what a start for Widnes, just what Dr. Cummins must have ordered.
Well, a good offload from Alberson, and Johnston always goes forward. I think this man has been very good. Jay Chapel made more tackles than any other player in Super League in round 17. Big, powerful player, gets on the front foot. Joe Mella kicks the ball, and Tom Gilmore puts himself right under the sticks, takes a nasty bounce, goes above the head of a Salford defender, and the local product Tom Gilmore goes in. What is really a relieving try at this early stage in the game.
Always nice for any team to see 6 and 7 working in tandem. Instinctively, one will know where the other one's going to put the ball. There was a little bit of a deflection there, but during the build-up to that, Chris Houston's decision to pass that ball onto the young front rower. Sure, Francis Cummins, Mick Cassidy, delighted with the start, the attitude of his players in the opening 5, almost 6 minutes.
You have to feel sorry for Ryan Lannon in defence for Salford. It was a horrible bounce. It came off his hands, and Gilmore here trying to add the extras. He swooped and he touched down. Widnes lead by 6 points to 0. 6 minutes of the game gone exactly.
Well, a good kick there, an important one for the extra 2 points for Tom Gilmore. Put the end of the try. I guess one of Widnes' problems this season is that the top try scorer is actually a hard-working, tackling back rower called Matt Whitley. They've not had enough players to be able to get over the line and convert those chances, but they have done there with Gilmore, and that's a pretty impressive start for the Vikings.
So Jake Shorrocks, the young man on loan from the Wigan Warriors, restarts, and Patrick Arvan is there to try and run this ball back. Patrick Arvan is another man who has missed much of the season because of injury. This is only his 8th appearance of the year. I must say, St Helens apart, the injuries have played a huge part in the way that teams have played this year and the positions that they've got on the table at the moment.
It always seems to happen to the teams down the bottom end of the table. They use the most players, and the consistency's not quite there. You mentioned this man, bringing him back in, he gives the Vikings a leadership in that centre field.
It's his first appearance, Chris Houston, since April, when they were beaten by Hull, and the kick downfield right to the Salford line is fielded here by Littlejohn.
That was a wonderful kick, Eddie, right in the spot that he wanted it, in the corner of the snooker table, making Littlejohn work hard. Salford Reds have a long way to go with an organised, keen defensive line in front of them.
There's Francis Cummins taking over from Dennis Betts as the coach of the Widnes Vikings. He's been there for a long time, Dennis. A lot of the foundations in place, and hopefully we'll see him back in the game before too long. But it's a pressure cooker when you're down at the bottom end of the table. And McCarthy to his feet will play the ball here, and it's with Shorrocks again. He finds Louis. That's good play. Here's Littlejohn chiming into the line. An important tackle was needed then by Runciman. They've reached tackle number 5 of Salford. They're going down the short side, and Louis just dinks the ball into the corner. It's fielded by Danny Craven, and Craven has the pace to come forward.
He has got some pace in it. First away, he's just looking up, thinking, I just want to attack here. Link up with some of the outside backs. Ryan Ince getting him back and offering himself as an option to Danny Craven.
Well, there's about 3 players. Wellham was one of them on that far side, and Louis was another, who looked as though they were standing at least a metre in front of the referee at that play the ball. This is Houston now. He gets it infield to Haraki.
Ryan, move! Hold.
On loan from Salford, Chamberlain and Burke coming the other way. He's scored 2 tries this year for Salford. That's good defence. And here again is Craven.
Chris, give 10.
On the aerial route down that left-hand side for them. Down the right for Salford.
I think they've decided they don't want to kick the ball to Daryl Alford, so we've only had a couple of kicks. The game's only less than 10 minutes old. And I'm not surprised because he has been impressive in the matches he's played. 8 of the last 12 Alfords. The left winger might take this next carry.
And I did mention Junior Sow in the build-up to this game, the most consistent player in a Salford shirt this year, never present. He's also on this left side, starved of the ball so far.
And he got a couple of tries in the last home game against Huddersfield a fortnight ago. He still managed to lose that game by 16 points to 24. Here's the hooker, Josh Wood. They've got Logan Tompkins on the bench if needed tonight. Once again, it's Shorrocks. That was a little high, was it, from Houston? No, referee James Child keeps the whistle in his pocket. Here goes Wood again. It's with Robert Louis, and Louis dabs the ball through. He thought he did, but it was very well picked up by Matt Whitley. Whitley was facing his own line and somehow managed to grab the ball one-handed and bring it back.
Well, it looked like they had the numbers as well. And they put boot to ball here. It was ever so well to get that ball. The onside chasers were there, they were around. That could have been dangerous for Salford.
Arvan again for Widnes, midway inside his own half of the field. Goes to the left-hand side and Runciman once more.
They just feel like they're feeling each other out. Both sides obviously going to be nervous. The pressure's on to come away with the 2 points, but most of all, they need a performance to take into next week.
This is Ted Chapelhow. Johnson to Gilmore. Left-footed from Gilmore. The ball bounces kindly for Wellham. Now then, it's a foot race because Wellham is quick. He's got Gilmore after him, but Wellham just takes a little swerve and beats Gilmore for pace and touches down for the Salford Red Devils. Touch of fortune about that, as there was a touch of fortune about the Widnes' first try. But the referee, James Child, having had a word with his touch judge, they do have a try on the field, but they just want to check position, I think, after the kick.
It's the you want to see whether there's a knock-on as he picked the ball up. I think that's what the touch judge far side, Scott Mikalauskas, was asking for. So he should just take a quick look. He looked like he picked it up cleanly. The video will tell us. Well, it's a kick from Widnes, so it's the Widnes players that will be offside. I think there's a bit of a ricochet. Same player goes through and picks up, and it's that pick-up they want to check to see whether there's a knockdown, or a knock-on, I should say. So that's okay. There's a possible knock-on from Widnes there, but that wouldn't matter. And as he picks the ball up, well, that's clean. He's got possession of that. No problem there. If they go through to the grounding, they check the grounding, but certainly no knock-on that piece. And I'm fairly confident he's grounded the ball correctly in the corner for this try to be confirmed.
And I think he will get the green light from the video referee Robert Hicks tonight, and if so, it will be his 149th career try for Chris Wellham. And here comes the decision, and a try it is. He missed the defeated Widnes in March, but he's just got his 5th try of the season as Chris Wellham.
A timely try for Salford. Just goes to show how important points on the field are. You hear players and coaches talk about points on the field. There wasn't enough space, too many bodies in the way of Gilmore. He couldn't get a clean kick away, and Chris Wellham is quick enough to regather and get Salford Reds into this game.
I think one of the things that Widnes will be pleased about is that the chase that Gilmore gave meant that Wellham couldn't bring the ball back underneath the posts or nearer the posts. So it gives Robert Louis a much more difficult conversion attempt here, because he's tight to the touchline on that far side down the right. Robert Louis, 27 goals. He's kicked goals in each of the last 3. He has yet to kick a goal here tonight. Salford on the board, though. Widnes still lead 6-4.
It's a very important, interesting observation you make there, Eddie. The fact that the kick is more difficult for Louis. And there is very little to separate these two sides halfway through this season. I don't think there'll be much to separate them at the end of this match. But this kick now made more difficult because of the work by the Vikings. It's just given them the narrow margin of a lead.
Well, Chris Wellham made his name really at Hull Kingston Rovers with Wellham. He's gone from east to west. And this is Lama Tazi now. And an interesting statistic about him, he's only scored 7 tries in 107 games in British football. 3 of those 7 have come against Widnes. So there could be a fourth tonight.
He's been a good player as well, hasn't he, Lamatasi? He certainly finds his home here. He's hard, he's direct, like this man, Ryan Lannon. Big, powerful player. And they are a big side, a big set of middlemen, Salford, when you look at them.
This fella's good too. Josh Wood is very lively from dummy half. We've been all but one this year. Now Robert Louis just drops the ball off again to Greg Burke. Ted Chappell with the tackle. Louis again, high, and the chase is on here. It's a test for Craven. Oh, and it's knocked backwards by Little John. It's out from Welham, and here is a try for the number 24, Jake Bibby. Or is it? Because they'll have to check how that ball came out. They've no try on the field, though. They're believing that there might be a knock-on here, but I think, well, from up here anyway, Stuart, it looked like the ball had gone backwards.
Well, I think there's that, and also whether one of the one of the chasers was offside and within the 10 metres. I think we can see to the left, we've got one player in front. Is it the hooker?
No, it's Jack Littlejohn, the number 7, and he does contest the ball, but Josh Wood's behind. Even the guy contesting the ball was in front of him, wasn't it?
Well, it was very close, but certainly the number 19 there for Salford, he's within the 10 metres, and he was in front of the kicker. So we're going to look at the contest. Well, he certainly hasn't touched the Widnes player from that point. And I suppose you need a side view to see whether it actually goes forward from that point. Certainly James Child's view was that it went forward. And it certainly isn't a knock-on into the Widnes player, but does it travel forward from there, or does it go backwards? On that view, you'd have to say the ball goes backwards.
Well, they're not looking at the touchdown, so it looks like it's going to be no try here. That was the call on the field. And that's the call from video referee Robin Hicks. They have decided there was a knock-on.
Play the ball. Play the ball. Play the ball.
Well, Ian Watson just looking around and looking for confirmation, really. The knock-on.
Did it flick Craven's left hand there, I wonder?
Okay.
It's certainly not a penalty, so he's not offside.
No. Well, playing on the front foot as well. Look at this as well. What it's lifted them as well in defence. Got Widnes trapped down here. They need some big, strong carry to try and get a roll on going forward.
The worry for Widnes is I believe that's the first attacking kick that Salford have put in, so they'll have to work harder. Obviously there was a mistake at the end of it, but they'll have to work harder and put pressure and take some time away from Robert Louis. We've seen how dangerous his kicking game, his long, his high and his short kicking game can be.
Houston takes it forward here for Widnes, and it comes up with a knock-on. There was certainly some disruption around the ruck there, and Houston believes he's been badly done to here.
Well, making some errors since
But it's a clear knock-on.
Yeah, since they scored the opening try. Gifting possession in decent field position as well to this Salford side. And Paddy's already mentioned the likes of Robert Louis. Whenever he gets the ball, he's running across the defensive line. He's pulling defenders out because he is so dangerous. The inside pressure's working really hard, which then in turn leads gaps on the inside if he drops that ball off.
Just in line, be loose hold it. Heads in. Ball in.
Wood going in at loose forward from that scrum. Somebody said a few years ago the days of the hooker are over, in the strict sense of the word.
Hold.
One of the best hookers that the country's ever produced. This is Tazi.
Move. Hold.
And Wood this time in at dummy half. We bring the ball into centre field to Greg Burke. He keeps the movement going. Here is Junior Sow. Whenever they look for a little bit of endeavour and a little bit of vim and vigour up front, it's that man, Junior Sow, who tests out defenders all the time. Here now, Tyrone McCarthy. 3 Widnes defenders get him down. Wood again. And Shorrocks gets it to Littlejohn, comes wide again to Louis. Good hands. Welham. Chris Welham looking for a second and gets it, Chris Welham. That's 150 in his career for Chris Welham. And he's reached that milestone in less than 16 minutes of this match. Salford hit the lead. Chris Welham with his second try of the night. And Chris Welham, his long and illustrious career has produced 150 tries now, and this could be one of the most vital ever.
As I said, Eddie, you make mistakes in your own half. When you're not playing well, you've got to make sure you defend that next set of 6. And Salford, look at the attacking shape, looking to promote the ball. They've got dummy runners that are running with some conviction as though they're going to genuinely get the ball. And when they shift it here, they don't look like a team who's at the bottom of the table. And that little shift play from Robert Louis, just to get outside of Charlie Runterman, does all the damage.
That's the danger playing it. You see all 3 pivots involved. Little John, Shorrocks initially at first man, and then Robert Louis, who commits 2 defenders, creates the space and the one-on-one opportunity for Chris Wellham. It was a first-class finish for his second try.
Robert Louis, he has got exactly 150 points for the Salford club now, having kicked goals, as I said earlier, in each of his last 3. This is slightly easier by about a metre and a half. So I wonder if he's learned anything from his first kick. Well, he did learn a lot, but it just bounced off the post. 8-6, Salford lead. I think this is going to be a tight one.
And the Vikings need to learn very quickly. This is an outstanding try, isn't it? They've practiced this every talking about the fact that twice in this opening quarter they've dropped the ball or lost it needlessly and so simply in their own half of the field. Once, I suppose, Danny Craven would say the ball may have been stripped. There, Chris Houston just got up and dropped all the ice creams all over the floor, didn't he? He won't be happy with that. But they've certainly invited Salford, and we know the Reds, given good field position, can put points on the board.
Welsh international Craig Kopjak is on the field now.
Well, you've got
alongside McCarthy and the rest.
You certainly got to rev up. He's outstanding.
Leeds Saints is the fair tomorrow. Sky Sports action, 7:30.
Eddie, we've got a couple of limpers for Salford now. I think Tyrone McCarthy is walking towards the sideline. We saw Chris Wellham when he scored his try, trying to get hold of the ball over on that right. He wasn't entirely happy. McCarthy's left the field now. He's been replaced.
Yeah, and he's limping quite heavily, Barry. You're absolutely right. As Little John takes it for, beg your pardon, it's not Little John. There's Little John with the kick.
Josh, give 10, Josh.
It was Griffin who took the first charge in, and Burke is in very, very quickly with Wood, with Kopjak.
Go 1.
Well, Salford early on will be looking to control this middle third. Widnes have made a change, well, sending Alex Gerrard onto the field, even though the try's been scored out wide.
Go 2.
There he is on the ball now.
There's Gerrard taking it forward. He's been out for 3 as well. He got a try in his last appearance. That was in the cup exit against Leeds. Narrow, 20 points to 23.
He makes his meters, Alex Gerrard, but he's got a really quick play the ball. Helps the players behind him.
This guy's been good for Widnes this year, Tom Alberson. He's reached the last tackle here. So expect the kick maybe, or will they run it with Mellor? Well, they'll run it, and they find Haraki and find Whitley. Whitley puts the kick in. Shorrocks, though, to the rescue for Salford. Not a bad place to turn it over, though. 5-6 metres away from the Salford line.
Just wanted a bit more distance on that kick, though, than from Matt Whitley.
So Daryl Alfords
showed a lot of composure. There was 4 or 5 sets of hands before the kick was put in, although it wasn't the best one from Whitley. As you said, Eddie, good field position, and they look on the front foot. There was a period of about 10 or 11 minutes where Salford had all the momentum after initially Widnes starting the better of the 2 sides.
Kopjak with a solid run from Craig Kopjak.
Jordan, hold, go.
He got 1 try this season, has Craig Kopjak, and that was in the game at Widnes in March. Nicely cut off, though, that kick by Danny Craven. Logan Tompkins is out there now for Salford.
Well positioned, wasn't it, from Danny Craven?
On the high shot, Ryan Lannon.
Gets a penalty, goes straight back into the middle of the action.
It's Daryl Alfords, actually.
He knows what he's doing here, Danny Craven. He goes back towards the middle, where some of those tireder, bigger bodies are. It's always a difficult prospect for any of those big units to deal with somebody with the agility of Danny Craven.
He's had to do a lot there, Danny Craven. If you think the piece of skill to catch the ball, then he's run approximately 40 metres at pace, showed some evasion. The penalty here, after some great defence, they're now almost starting to set in the opponent's half.
The coaches of both sides here are ringing the changes midway through the first half. Kopchak, Tompkins, Nakambawa on for Salford, and here is the second penalty. In quick succession.
Sorry, Eddie, there's a late tackle here on Jordan Johnson from Nakambawa.
Tackle without the ball.
It is. When he passes the ball, he goes at the line. He's a brave player.
Second penalty.
Jordan Johnson.
There's a lot of talk about tackles like that receiving yellow cards, especially in the NRL. I don't know whether that deserved it, but it is an issue that some people are talking about in the sport.
Yeah, well, there have been some this year in Super League, and it'll be the discretion of the referee whether he uses that power.
Well, penalty, try, they say, in the Betfred Super League. Let's see. Here is Runciman. Certainly the pendulum has swung since Salford have taken the lead. Widnes have dug deep. Here is Alberson again. 8 metres out. Plays the ball there to Johnson. This now is Gerrard, fed by Houston. Johnston again. And Mellor. That's a good hit by Junior Sow on Danny Craven. He was in his face the moment he received that ball. Lost a bit of ground here of Widnes. They're 10 metres away now. Houston once again looking to get past Nakambawa. Can't manage it. Greg Burke was there as well. Johnston. Close now, Widnes. Gilmore stabs the kick in. He couldn't pick it up. He tried to with his legs, did Mellor.
Time off. Last tackle.
I wonder what he's looking for.
No try
on the
checking
field.
for the merits of a penalty try.
Another nice kick between 6 and 7 this time. The opposite way around.
What they're looking for here, Stu, any clues?
Well, he said he's looking for the merits of a penalty try. So whether somebody was pulled back or not, I don't know. I think Widnes ended up in possession. Well, let's have a look.
Merits of a penalty try, tackle without the ball.
Well, he's just said to one of the players on the field, merits of a penalty try because he's been tackled without the ball here.
It's Chris Wellham, I think, in the vicinity.
You've got Little John there, though, in support, haven't you?
And it's on Joe Mellor.
Yeah, I think he ends up in possession. I don't think he gets over the line. Not sure whether they'll run it through. He's certainly tackled without the ball. Don't think there's, to use his terminology, any merits for a penalty try, but you'd certainly look at a penalty, I think.
I think we know this is not going to be given as the try, and will it be the third penalty in quick succession going Widnes' way?
No try.
And the answer is yes.
The penalty for a pullback.
Yes.
And it's a try-scoring situation.
And it's a try-scoring situation, so
it's a try-scoring
he's
situation.
got a 10-minute spell in the sin bin.
That does seem harsh.
Well, a few penalties back-to-back now. To go for 2 points, keep the pressure on. With one man in the bin, you think you'd go again, wouldn't you, here?
And the man who scored the 2 tries for Salford.
So let's just get back to where we were. Right. Just wait.
Well, he's in the bin, is Chris Wellham, for that. Is that deemed then, Stuart, because it's a professional foul? It's in a try-scoring situation, a possibility of a try being scored. I'd also say if a penalty try had been awarded, he probably wouldn't have gone in the sin bin. OK, here's Owen Farnworth then. As Francis Cummins rings the changes, the teenager, underneath the posts. Gets the ball away. Here is Mellor again. And Mellor gets to the line, but the strength of the Salford defenders surely will hold him up, and they do just. Ryan Ince goes for it himself. Ryan Ince, has he got the ball down here? No, the referee was close.
Oh, it's got to go long here over on the left-hand side.
Well, there's a problem here with a Salford player on the deck. He's taken a knock in preventing that try.
To be Jake Shorts won it. He defends over this side. He went low. Dips down, and something must catch his head. Oh, it's head on head, isn't it? Friendly fire from his own teammate.
That could be the end of Jake Shorrock's night. That was a nasty bang.
Well, he did well, didn't he, to prevent him, because look how close Ryan Ince is to actually getting over the line and scoring a try.
Well, they prevented a try, but at what cost to Jake Shorrock's? And Junior Sow just smiling. He must have a...
Well, he looks like he could see it coming as well, but just couldn't quite pull out of it.
Just in time for the 22-year-old, on loan, as you said, from Wigan, Eddie, Jake Shorrocks. You know, he almost played in the 2016 Grand Final for Wigan. He only played just, over 13 games in his career at Wigan, most of them as a sub, but very sadly missed most last season with a knee injury. But I suppose similarities in his career. I was thinking driving to the game, Eddie, whether he looks at players like Matthew Smith or Luke Gale for some inspiration, because, as I said, he's only played 23 first-team games. He's almost got the L plates on as a half-back, but sport doesn't give very long to pass your test. If you look at the careers of, say, Matthew Smith, who was down at the Celtic Crusaders as a similar age, trying to learn his profession, being a playmaker in the centre of the field isn't an easy role to play. And he's getting full medical treatment here. Luke Gale, similar age, down at Harlequins for about 3 years, learning to play in a half-back. Look where he is now, main player as the scrum half for the England side. So it's lots of time for Jake Shorrocks if he can recover from this injury and continue to develop. Got a massive future.
I think his race might be run tonight, sadly. I wonder who's going to win the race tomorrow. This is a huge game as well. We've got St Helens, the runaway leaders of the Betfred Super League, against the reigning champions Leeds, who are 7th in the table at the moment and just struggling a little bit for form and points. But on their own ground, anything is possible. Leeds Rhinos against St Helens tomorrow, 7:30. Sky Sports action. And stay with us after we've finished here tonight, because coming up at 10 is the masterclass with Luke Gale of the Castleford Tigers. Going to be a long break in play here, I think, while Jake Shorrocks receives this treatment. So let's have a look back at the tries, gents.
Well, Widnes scored the first try from a kick from Joe Mellor, and Tom Gilmore comes up with it, but it's the right edge from Salford. Been causing a lot of problems, and Chris Whelan was the man who was there when the ball's kicked through here from Tom Gilmore. The ricochet, he gets it and then just beats everybody for pace.
Over on that side, Chris Whelan has been demanding the ball, and it was the same player who worked hard, got on the end of some lovely stuff from Robert Louis, skips in, commits a play, skips out, commits another one. That's a first-class finish from Chris Whelan, who's in the sin bin at the minute.
He is, he's in the sin bin, and Jake Shorrocks, as you can see, happily is walking from the field for a concussion test. It's good news for him, but I don't know whether it'll be good news for the team, because it looks doubtful. Gilmore, lovely kick. Patrick Arvan, it's a trademark try from Widnes this. Patrick Arvan times his runs to perfection down that left-hand side. No need to refer it to the video referee on this occasion. James Child and his touch judges agree. Arvan coming from an onside position and touches down to restore a 2-point advantage for the Widnes Vikings. There you go. Arvan does this to perfection.
Well, the try was scored over on Widnes' left, Salford's right, and it's that man, Chris Whelan, who would have been defending over on that side, started the game very well, and Widnes knew that there was some space out wide. You could see that the Pat Arvan, he's very good in yardage plays, bringing the ball away from his own try line, but he's very good at this end of the field as well. Certainly knows how to finish a try.
It's a perfect kick from the scrum half, Tom Gilmore. But the action that's going on around him, the deception in the lies, everybody has a part to play over on that left side. That's the reason Patrick Arvan is out on his own. I think some of the Salford fans maybe questioning and querying whether he's onside or offside, but it looked okay.
Well, he kicked the ball for the try. Can he kick the goal? You know what, Widnes have used, you talk about the injuries Widnes have had, Eddie. This is the 6th goal kicker that they've used in 16 games before tonight. It's probably the best that they've got, and they'll be happy that he's back taking them.
Yes, it's Gilmore. Difficult kick, tight to the touchline, but he's got a kick on him, that is for sure. He adds the extras, and Widnes now lead 12 points to 8. Is this a night for milestones? We've seen Chris Whelan get his 150th. Patrick Arvan here has just scored try number 99.
Well, let's have a look. Those Salford fans are mistaken. He's well onside, and it looks like the difference between these two sides at the minute is that boot of Tom Gilmore. Quality try, quality kick.
He does that so many times in the season, Arvan, doesn't he? He times the run to absolute perfection.
He makes it look so easy. That's what I say. He's good near his own try line, bringing the ball away. He can score tries. He can score some spectacular tries as well.
I think as well, he's got to have patience. He's got to stay on side and trust that his kicker, it was Tom Gilmore on that occasion, has the skill to put it where he needs it. Good carry from the replacement, Alex Gerrard. You watch the speed of his play the balls. Real asset for the Widnes Vikings.
Here's the latest try scorer, Arvan. And boy, they've missed him. You know, we refer to the injuries that Widnes have had, and they have had them really for the last 2 years. He lost both of his halfbacks last year. You have to feel a little bit of sympathy for Dennis Betts.
Yeah, you do. Missing, I think, one game this year, Eddie. I think there was 11 players that were missing, really, that he would have picked. And the good thing for Francis Cummins now is the likes of Gil Dudson, Chris Ninu, Chris Dean, they're all going to be returning the next few weeks.
They might need them if they're in the qualifiers. It's a place where nobody wants to be, but it's the last qualifying competition we're going to get. During Robert Elstone's initial news conference this week, it was announced from next year onwards it's going to be one up, one down in terms of promotion. The qualifiers are going to be abandoned after 4 years, but not this year. So the trapdoor is creaking under 4 clubs at the wrong end of the table, and we're watching 2 of them tonight as Logan Tompkins gets the ball away to Robert Louis. 5th tackle though, that for Salford, so last one coming up here. And Josh Wood gets the kick away. Danny Craven picks it up. Good chase by the Red Devils, that.
Well, Eddie, they get this field position because the run from Craig Kopchak. He likes that flash play coming across the back of the ruck, picks out a defender, gets a one-on-one. It's a quick play of the ball. All of a sudden, they pick the ball up and look to attack. What they're doing this next set and the next few sets, really, of just getting back into the grind, just 4 points behind on the scoreboard.
Go.
Bit of a disruption for the Red Devils with Shorrocks off. You'd imagine that Little John, when they're in possession, will operate as the halfback in his absence for the time being.
Well, Josh Woods as well, of course, back out there, Eddie, in 19. That helps him as well, doesn't it?
Great run. That was a great run from Whitley. This is Mellor. Johnston again. Dummy half. Last tackle coming up here. Mellor spins it wide to Craven. Craven then goes further wide to Runciman. Van has picked it up, but has knocked it on, has he? Or was he? He was in touch, was he?
Yeah, he's in touch. Flag went up.
Play the ball.
Well, Pat Van just hugging that touchline to late offload.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, from Charlie Runciman. He's off the pitch.
Oh, he came back on though, Terry.
You know what's going to be interesting for Salford, and they made a mistake here.
They have. Big error. Big error inside their own 10-metre zone. And here is Gerrard. Salford have got some defending to do here, otherwise they're going to concede the 3rd try of the night. Johnson goes for himself. Jordan Johnson is held up. Tackle 2, back to the 10-metre line they go.
Josh Wood does a decent job to get underneath Jordan Johnson. He spotted that. He went off 2 strong carries. Couldn't quite get the ball down over the try line though.
Here's Gilmore. And Farnworth takes it in, straight at Greg Burke. Bit of help though there also from Macambawai. Johnson once again fires the pass to Gilmore. Gilmore drops the ball off to Albison. And Albison tries to go over the top of Macambawai. Good job that Burke was there. Johnson to play the ball, stabs the ball in. Logan Tompkins to the rescue.
Well, Jordan Johnson just tried to kick that ball through. I think it was Owen Farnworth on his right-hand side that had chased up, pushed through the line, and now they give a penalty where probably a bit of frustration, really, because that play didn't come off. Jordan Johnson, the man who kicked the ball and the man who's penalised as well.
That's not been square, says the referee.
Yeah. You can see the second marker at the play of the ball.
There might be frustration for him and Widnes, but it was certainly relief for Salford.
Let's go, Jack.
Francis Cummins, McCassidy. The men holding the tiller for Widnes, bottom of the table. This would be a massive result for them if they could win here today. It wouldn't be the best, of course, for Salford because they're slipping down the table.
Well, rolling the forwards on Lamatasi on now for his 2nd spell. A good run again from Craig Kopchak, but how will they handle likes of Tyrone McCarthy not being on the field as well? He didn't look good when he left the pitch, and obviously Jake Shorrock's missing.
Move, Jordan!
There is McCarthy trying to stretch out and maybe get the injury away. Kopchak, another good run from him. And still going is Kopchak, despite 3 and eventually 4 defenders. Albison in the end cutting him down. Tompkins, straight at Johnson. Gerrard there with Chapel Howe. Jay Chapelhow. Louis stabs the ball to the corner, looking for Junior Sow. The ball's come free, and the ball has gone over the dead ball line. Goal line drop out for Widnes to defend.
Well, in half an hour we've had 4 tries. 3 of them have had kicks in it. Won't be surprised if we see some more here, don't we? And both teams know they need to react very well when the opposition gets that last play. Well, there's almost a knock-on, is there, from Junior Sow, but not spotted by the referee. I don't know whether you saw it that way.
Well, he just asked the video referee, Robert Hicks, to check the restart decision, and Robert Hicks has said he was right, and it's a goal line.
Stay offside! Do a check to mates, right.
So goal line drop out. And Craven will try and get it as far up the field as he can. He gets it over halfway. Back they come, though, with Ben Nakambawa, the Fijian international in the 2017 World Cup. He takes tackle number 1. This is Logan Tompkins into centre field to Cobjack. Real struggle developing between these two sides. Salford in much better shape than Widnes at the foot of the table, but not much. Good run from Wood.
Move, we're back. Hold.
They've won 5 this season. Salford last one against Hull last week. They were 43-0 down.
Move, Chris. Goal line.
At one stage, they did get a little bit of confidence back. This is Lamatazi.
Not square.
And again, the markers are not standing square.
Second time that, Eddie. Once near their opposition's line. And on that occasion, we'll have to put another defensive effort in here. 6 more tackles, and Salford are just starting to break those tackles. Players like Craig Kopchak finding some space.
Tompkins gets the ball away to Little John. Here is Robert Louis. Salford's last win in April was against Wakefield. Desperate for a victory here. As the ball is driven in again, and Widnes with some big defending to do, as Tompkins finds Louis. He gives it to Tazi. Mentioned his record of try scoring against Widnes, looking for another one there. Tompkins into centre field. Nakambawa using his strength gets over, and I think gets the try.
Tackle 4, let go.
No, the referee says he's held up.
I think it's Tom Alderson that gets underneath him.
He
was right on the spot as well, the referee. Good defensive work from Widnes. Good charge from the big fella near the line.
What wonderful defence it was from Tom Alderson. Here's Louis, not finished yet. That's Ryan Lannan. Louis again will go himself.
It's a turnover. Here we are.
Just held up short of the line, but on the last tackle, so it's the turnover. Okay, let's get news from the sideline. Here's Angela.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, it looks like it's Tyrone McCarthy's right hamstring. He was in some pain, wasn't he, as he limped off and spent quite a few minutes in the treatment room. He's been trying to use the resistance bands over the last few minutes to stretch it off, and he's run up and down the touchline, but Salford aren't very confident about him being able to come back on at all.
Well, I think when you look at what Salford were trying to do in that last set of 6, they were trying to kick the door down from Widnes. They certainly had to be strong then, because it was a powerful set from the Red Devils.
This is Aaron Jeremiah. He'll play the ball. Having some problems, aren't they? Salford with their injuries.
Release for.
We've got Shorrocks off the field, as Angela says. They've got McCarthy off the field with a hamstring. If that's the case, doubt if we'll see him back tonight.
It looked like he was on the foam roller, just trying to roll it out, trying to stretch it out.
Craven's kick downfield is fielded by Little John. Solid defence from Widnes against the run from Jake Bibby.
They'll look for decent line speed here, because Salford over the last 10 or 15 minutes have certainly been building.
This now is Junior Sow.
Move. Hold. Go 3.
Little John to Wellham. As you can see, Wellham is out of the sin bin after tackling the man without the ball. Oh, that's a knock-on. No, it isn't. It's a penalty, because Wellham is being pushed and shoved in the ruck.
Well, that's why
he's on the hips from Houston.
That's why he's so important to this Salford side. He's a very dogged player, very determined player. Thought he picked up an injury when he scored his second try.
Well, Howson just gets his foot in the way as he's coming across the marker and kicks the ball out of the play-the-ball area, which is the reason for the penalty.
Third penalty in succession for Salford. Widnes had 3 in a row earlier in the half. Jake Shorrocks, I'm told, has failed at the concussion test. He will not return tonight, so that's a bitter blow for Salford.
So I'll have to do it with 15 men, Eddie.
Particularly if McCarthy doesn't come back. Big ask. Nakambawa, though. 3 gone. They're 5 metres away. Tompkins. Here's Louis. Back it comes. This is Wood. It's a great run from Wood. He's over the line, but then he's forced back by Craven and by Mellor. Littlejohn again. Fires the ball to Logan Tompkins. This is Louis. Louis then drops the ball off once more to Tazi, coming down the middle. They halt him 10 metres out. Tompkins weighing up the options left and right, goes right with Louis. Short ball then to Griffin. Widnes survive, good defence.
Poor play on the last tackle. Ian Watson, the clever player that he was, will be really disappointed. And the big indicator for Salford is wherever the likes of Robert Louis stands, he's the man who's going to get the ball. Good effort from Josh Wood, but good defence as well from the Vikings.
Junior Sow is screaming for the ball. He's had 36 minutes of frustration. The only time he's got his hands on the ball is been while he's carting the ball away from his own half. He will beat any player in the team, in the league, one-on-one. And this evening, I feel the more they get the ball in that player's hands, the better the chances for Salford.
Jeremiah gets the pass away to Gerrard once again. Gerrard to his feet. Jeremiah once more. Houston. They converge on Chris Houston. Logan Tompkins and Lamatazi finish him off. Now it's with Craven. Left-footed and high from Craven. Littlejohn is there, but so too was Jake Bibby. And that's as good as a 40-20.
Well, the pressure of trying to catch this ball, knowing that the sideline's right next to you, you don't want to let it bounce, but also knowing that Pat Arvan is steaming up in front of you, you can see the Widnes jersey coming up, the sideline's next to you, you don't want to make the mistake. Unfortunately for Jake Bibby, he does.
And that was plan A for Widnes. They started the game, they had 8 minutes of success, kicking the ball into that corner. It was only when Tom Gilmore failed to get that kick away, Chris Wellham picked the ball up and galloped over 50 metres to score a try, that they went away from it. They're back to it now.
Last 2 minutes of the half, big 2 minutes for both sides. There's Mellor. Mellor gets it away to Craven. That's a good tackle by Junior Sow. That's a pat in the back as well from Daryl Alfords. And Ryan Ince finds Mellor, who changes direction and then thinks again. Just gives it away to Wella Haraki. Mellor. Gilmore, that was high from Louis. This could be a penalty. That was just a grab at the head.
Did well to ride that tackle, didn't he, then?
Jeremiah gives it to Houston. And he was thinking about the offload, but knew his feet were coming off the ground, and down he went.
He didn't thank his replacement hooker for that pass.
Gilmore again to Haraki, gets the ball down, knocked on by Joe Mellor.
Well, there was a hurried offload, wasn't it? We look to shift the ball here, Salford. Well, Haraki gets his arm free, tries to push the pass back to one of his teammates.
Zero tackle.
Clean catch.
Zero tackle that was, because they got over the advantage line. This is Daryl Alfords.
Release. Hold. Go on.
Well, both sides looking to finish this half well. Obviously, Salford could do with a try. Widnes don't want to concede another try just before the break.
Okay. Move. 3. Hold.
Griffin gets so far, but still inside their own half. Logan Tompkins gets the kick away because he knows time is running out. It was very early in the tackle count, but they've given it to Patrick Arvan. And he's such a difficult man to pull down.
Well, kicking on the third play, you think that they were going for the 40-20, Eddie, so they could have one more crack at them up this end of the field in attack.
2. Move. Hold. Go 2.
Gilmore goes to the left-hand side. Craven escapes the net for the first tackle, but can't get away from Littlejohn for the second. Likely to be the last play of the first half, this. Do Widnes take a risk? Kick and chase. No, they play it wide to Ryan Ince, and Ryan Ince just couldn't take the pass in. So it's tight. We thought it might be in a match of such importance. And Salford, who have beaten Widnes here in each of the last 4 seasons, find themselves trailing at half-time by 8 points to 12. But it's been a first half of nip and tuck. First of all, Widnes went into the lead in 6 minutes. Gilmore's try, which he himself improved. Then Salford hit back with 2 Chris Wellham tries, which took him to a career tally of 150. They led 8-6 after a quarter of an hour. The lead lasted 10 minutes. Patrick Arban got over the line in the corner. Gilmore kicked a fine goal. And the Widnes Vikings at the foot of the table lead Salford by 12 points to 8 at half-time.
Shoulder into the ribs and then leg drive from that point.
The smallest bar in Amsterdam is run by my husband Jaap. It seats 6 people. But at home, he has over 400 chairs. Chairs with 3 legs, chairs with no legs. I have to shower with chairs and even give up my wardrobe to chairs. But it's worth it. Because every few years, our little bar becomes Amsterdam's biggest.
This is George. For only £1, he's bought a health lottery ticket. Every time you play, you support health-related good causes across Great Britain. And with 5 draws a week, there are more chances to win. Not just for George, but for local grassroots projects and charities near you. Now all George has to do is to work out how to spend his winnings. Nice one, George. The Health Lottery, there for those who need us most.
Celebrate the start of summer in the Sky Store sale.
Ready? Showtime.
Choose to own on digital, DVD or Blu-ray.
Intrigued.
All yours from $3.99.
Wow. That's how we roll.
Diana!
It's like taking a stroll through the woods 65 million years ago.
All these great movies and more in the Sky Store sale.
You just can't help yourself. You're chaos.
I've lived this entire story before, and it doesn't end well.
It's been 72 hours, no one's seen her.
I'd say that was blood, wouldn't you?
Sophie Bishop was right to be worried about her ex.
I'm James Corden, we're in London, and this is the Late Late Show. It's going to be beautiful, you don't want to miss it.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be.
Buy or rent Black Panther in Sky Store now.
You've got to grind the team down.
A double-header of cricket for you tomorrow on Sky Sports Cricket. Third one-day international. England-South Africa, 1:30 p.m. start for that one. And then Saturday, it's the second one-day international. England-Australia, 10:30 a.m. on Sky Sports Cricket. Saturday, will there be better luck for the Northern Hemisphere sides? New Zealand take on France, Australia, Ireland and South Africa, England. South Africa with another win over Eddie Jones' men will pile the pressure on him. 8 a.m, 10:45 a.m. and 3 p.m. all on Sky Sports action on Saturday. We're at the AJ Bell Stadium. It is the Betfred Super League, and at half-time it's the Widnes Vikings without an away win in 2018, leading the Salford Red Devils 12 points to 8 at half-time. 2 tries apiece, but there's the successful goal kicking of Tom Gilmore the difference between the sides at the moment. Well, it is 12th place Widnes against 10th place Salford in a game both must win to have a realistic chance of avoiding the qualifiers. You would think, John Wells, that with 2 sides at the bottom of the table, it would be full of tension, but maybe a little lacking in quality. That wasn't the case.
No, not a bit of it. I thought Widnes started incredibly well. That man scoring the first try, Tom Gilmore, I thought has had an outstanding first half. There's been a couple of players in the Widnes pack as well I think deserve mention. Chappell out, Albison's been particularly strong, but you know, that's not without challenge from Salford. Wellham with his first from an interception, and then he struck again a couple of minutes later, didn't he, from Robert Louis. We think this is a nice pass. Nicely constructed try. Wellham goes over, as you said, for his second, pushes the score out to 8 points to 6. Then Sinbin, your thoughts on this? I thought it was harsh at first. I think you can come down either way on that one. The question will be, it will become more significant if this result stands now, and at the end of 80 minutes Widnes going ahead. Nice kick again by Gilmore for our Vance try. So it's one of those ones that you can almost forget about. If Salford end up winning, will become a talking point, I'm sure, if Widnes get their first away win of the season. It will do, and what might become relevant as well is just after Chris Wellham sin-binning, Jake Shorrocks went off with a head injury, clash with Junior Sow. He has been ruled out. Angela's reported back from the sideline. Head injury assessment failed that, so no more Jake Shorrocks. They're down a number on that. Right, let's have a look. You're really impressed with this Tom Gilmore try. What in particular was so surprising for you? Was it because it came from a side rooted at the bottom of the table? Did a bit earlier in the day and talking about how these were 2 desperate sides and how they couldn't buy a win, 0 from 9 for Widnes, all the negative stories. I looked at the construction of this try and the build-up to this try, and there was nothing negative about it. This was very much, it looked like all the fundamentals for Widnes were there. So they got a late retreat first of all, so and it's Tarzu's back there, so there's an area of the field here which is going to be vulnerable across the back of the ruck, and they do exactly the right thing. It's Albison who takes the hard carry in. So there's a number of things here. Albison's worked really hard to get an offload. Key thing, which is going to be picked up by Jordan Johnston in a minute, is these guys clocking off. Let's pull it through to the point at which the offload is taken. Now, normally, there's 1 or 2 things that could happen here. What we see from the likes of Darryl Clark, for example, would be some real speed back in and around the ruck from either side here. Or you could see him coming in and stepping out a little bit and trying to encourage this man. What I think you saw, because there was a great deal of vision here by Johnston, and he's seen this bottom end of the screen that we're looking at, and that I showed you before, some retreating defenders, a thin, long side defence as well because of that late retreat, and he's prepared to do the next level stuff. So it looks to all intents and purposes like he's going in. Lovely little step on the outside, fixes Jake Shorrocks up. Engages him brilliantly. It does, and allows his team there to take the meters. So when we talk about the instincts of a team, being able to shift their point of attack, being able to read what's in front of you on the fly, it's all good stuff. Just as a little aside, you've got a man at the top of your screen here who wants the ball now. He's going to have to be patient, but I think he's been exceptional. Every time the ball's gone through his hands or into his hands, he's done something good. The next pit we're going to pick up after a shot down the short side, he's just been left on the floor as Joe Mellor. And lovely little nod here that the kick's going in. I'll show you why in just a second. But the kick, the communication and the execution, I think they're not befitting of a side rooted to the foot of the Super League table. Just because we've got it and because the cameramen are so good and proficient at their jobs. Just here, that's Gilmore, and he too is looking. He too is looking at the opportunity to kick through. Why? Because that's your standing fullback, and that's already been communicated to him by Joe Mellor. It's a real, just all-round good communication, good awareness. The instincts are there, and that's I think the takeaway from all of this, Brian. And that put them 6-0 up, but Salford, they'll look at this, John, at half-time. They're still very much in the game. 2 tries apiece.
A bit of goal kicking that went their way. Robert Louis hit the post with one of them. I mean, they're right in this game.
They are. It doesn't help them with Jake Shorrock's going off the field. He's someone who's joined them on loan, but he has become an integral part of their attacking setup, and I think they're going to struggle. Everything now is going through Robert Louis, and that makes it easier for a defence to assess and address in defending them. I really like the look of this Widnes side. As I said, they do not look like a side rooted to the bottom of the table, and they have got the fundamentals there.
I think you're hinting at a Widnes Vikings side to go on and claim their first away win of the season. Last time out in the Betfred Super League, Salford found themselves 37-0 down against Hull FC and came back with a stronger second half. They are only 4 points behind the Widnes Vikings, but Francis Cummins and his side, he will be emphasising now to go after the Salford Red Devils, that there is 2 vital competition points available for them. We have got the second half on the way here at the AJ Bell Stadium. Eddie and the boys are standing by to take you through the second 40 minutes. Just 4 in at half time, 2 tries apiece. Can Salford rescue this one, or will Widnes claim their first away win in the Betfred Super League in 2018? Second half action on the way.
When guys shave, this is what they do to try to get every hair. This is what we do. Shaving rebuilt with Gillette FlexBall technology. Moves like no other razor. It responds to the contours of your face. Gillette.
Get £40 in Nectar points with Sainsbury's Bank Home Insurance, exclusively at Money Supermarket.
At Paddy Power, we were thinking, why can't VAR sort out all the nonsense off the pitch as well as on it? Like who's first at the bar? The refs are having a look. Oh, it's an easy one. Dave's first by a nasal hair. There's nothing VAR can't clear up.
Benji's gone to live on a farm now.
No, he hasn't. Swingers? No, they don't. Horse? Socks? Helen from accounts. You get the picture. We're putting the world to rights, one video replay at a time. Paddy Power. Enough of the nonsense.
It's Father's Day this Sunday. With a great range of gifts and cards, Dad deserves Moonpig. So shop now. Moonpig.
That was a great speech. Now the herd will follow us without question. Damn, like sheep. He thinks he has us like lambs to the slaughter. Right, guys?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Who has raised over £100 million for grassroots charities all over Britain? You have. Your £1 health lottery ticket is making a huge difference to communities across the country. And to celebrate, we're offering all players 2-for-1 tickets to enjoy family days out to top UK attractions. Simply buy your health lottery ticket until the 5th of July, visit healthlottery.co.uk to redeem, and hold on tight for a day of endless fun with all the family. The Health Lottery, here for those that need us most.
The smallest bar in Amsterdam is run by my husband Jaap. It seats 6 people. But at home, he has over 400 chairs. Chairs with 3 legs, chairs with no legs. I have to shower with chairs, and even give up my wardrobe to chairs. But it's worth it. Because every few years, our little bar becomes Amsterdam's biggest.
You just can't help yourself. You're chaos.
I've lived this entire story before, and it doesn't end well.
It's been 72 hours, no one's seen her.
I'd say that was blood, wouldn't you?
Sophie Bishop was right to be worried about her ex.
I'm James Corden, we're in London, and this is the Late Late Show. It's going to be beautiful, you don't want to miss it.
A Super League crunch rivalry awaits as Leeds take on St Helens. Live on Sky Sports Action.
That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
Well, Super League Thursday's coming from Salford. Super League on Friday is Leeds, the champions, against St Helens, the league leaders. It's a 7:30 start on Sky Sports Action again. Big game, that, for those two. This is big, too, at the other end of the table. Salford Red Devils 8, Widnes Vikings 12. The second half will be underway in a few moments' time. Widnes have lost all 6 away games so far this season. In fact, their only away win last year came at relegated Lee, 37-24. So they have been without an away win now for over 12 months in Super League. They did win 3 away qualifiers last year, at Halifax, Lee again, and against Catalan. That coming on the 23rd of September last year. It was the result which preserved their Super League status. And Salford, they've lost their last 2 home games to Huddersfield and St Helens, but they have won 4 from 8 here at the AJ Bell Stadium. The 4 that have perished: Hull, Kingston Rovers, Hull, Catalan and Wakefield. So not a bad home record for all of that. For the Red Devils, who have to come from behind in this second half, and they will get the next 40 minutes underway, courtesy of the boot of Robert Louis, and here we go. It would be a priceless win for either of these 2 clubs, it really would.
I think both sides have looked dangerous, Eddie, when they've been in that decent field position, and when they played off some power getting forward. The hookers have been good getting out of dummy half, and when they've been setting the players up, they've looked quite composed. Composed, yeah. Nearly lost my teeth then, Eddie. And it's so important, really, that you get an early touch on the ball and get into the game. Don't wait for the game to try and find you. Sometimes you do sit back waiting for the game to come to you when you're down at the bottom end of the table.
You better take a visit to Barry's dentist, Terry.
He couldn't afford it, Eddie.
Having problems with the old molars. Up it goes again off the boot of Craven. It's a high kick, this. Oh, it's spinning all over the place. Little John did well, actually, to pick that up. Good chase.
You know, when you're not used to playing fullback as well, you know that when you take the field, you're going to be targeted, because the game plan all week would have been about, look, let's get some pressure on Little John, kick it high, make sure we get up, get in his eye line, put pressure on him.
And Nakambawai brings it forward as well. He's been substituted in the last couple of games as well. He sat out the magic against Catalan. There's Josh Wood and Logan Tompkins. And that man once again. Down he goes on halfway. Tackle number 5. Nakambawai to his feet. Plays the ball to Tompkins. Louis under pressure from Alderson. The ball goes high. It's a real up and under this. Runciman claims it. Let's get the half-time news, shall we? Wonder what the 2 coaches have said. Angela?
Well, Ian Watson, Eddie, from the Salford dressing room, has said that they've been completing OK, but it's their transitions, really, that they need to look at. When they're kicking on the last tackle, it's their first couple of tackles after that they're a bit loose, so he wants them to tighten up there. They've been caught out a couple of times from early kicks in the tackle count from Widnes. Their inexperienced backliners not really been concentrating as well as he would like, so he'd like to see that tightened up as well. But, of course, there are 2 sub options down here now, so they've really got to do it the hard way. Francis Cummins, he wants them to take advantage of them having those 2 subs down as well. He says he's happy with the way they're going this half, the first half, but he wants them to dictate the pace of the game better in the second half. Salford will tire, he says. We've just got to keep our concentration and keep in control.
Well, that
It was, you're right, Eddie. He was tackled in the air, Danny Craven, on John Little. Jack Littlejohn.
Oh, Little John Jack.
Jack Littlejohn, and discipline's going to be a key element. Yeah.
He was tackled in the air.
Fullback on fullback. There was a messy kick from Salford at the back end that meant Runciman caught that kick. And how you finish your sets, we say it every week, it's so important. It's the start of your next defensive set. It dictates that you give the ball over on your terms. And as I said, for both sides, keeping the discipline, keeping the composure is imperative.
Tompkins gets the ball away to Wood, who just dabs it down into Widnes territory, and Arvan will pick it up. Oh, he's lost the ball as Arvan, and it's with Robert Louis. This is a golden opportunity now for Salford.
He made 4 errors last week in the south of France, and he's still down. Patrick Arvan bringing the ball away.
Well, he was in the full-back position, I think, because Danny Craven was still injured from the other end of the field. He had a collision at that point. He's carried the ball back, and a good tackle by Ryan Lennon means the ball comes free. He's momentarily injured. Is it the knee?
Or did Nakambawa just catch him? Accidentally, of course. But could be a problem for Pat Arban.
Well, there's pressure up top from Nakambawa. And he certainly dislodges the ball from a physical challenge. Wasn't stripped.
We hope that Patrick Arvan is okay, but it's a good indicator for Salford how energetic and enthusiastic your side are. If you look at how they chase those kicks, it's shoulder contact. The ball comes loose.
I'm not sure.
I think he more falls into the player rather than the arm moving towards him.
Knock him
I don't think there's any foul play there.
There's the first tackle. He's now falling. And, I mean, Nakambawa's not swinging the arm or anything. He
can't get away from that, can he? He can't jump out the way. He's got to make the tackle.
Well, he's on his way off the field to have an assessment. We've already lost one player tonight, Jake Shorrocks. And he's making his way off the field unaided, which is good to see, but so too did Shorrocks in the first half. So let's wait and see. Meanwhile, back into the fray comes Jordan Johnston for Widnes. We'll have a look. Can stay off for 15 minutes. So, as I said, when he dropped the ball initially, this is a glorious chance for Salford, but Widnes' defence has been marshalled now after the injury. Tarzi gets it away to George Griffin. Logan Tompkins, 5 metres out, fires the pass to Tarzi again. There is Louis. Robert Louis pops it up to Wood. Good hit by Farnworth. And Logan Tompkins taking on Houston, coming off second best. 4 gone, but they're laying siege to the Widnes line. That's Wood. Back he comes to Robert Louis again. Once more, it's Littlejohn. Good work defensively by Alex Gerrard for Widnes. He pushed them back to 12 metres here. Last one. Louis stabs the kick into the in-goal area. It's a great kick too. I tell you what, Robert Louis got a hand to that, but I think it bounced.
He looked to knock it back in field, didn't he? That's what he was trying to do, Eddie.
20-minute restart.
Had to have nerves of steel then. Was it Charlie Runciman going backwards?
Look at this play here.
You'd like to think he got some communication from Tom Gilmore when he's back to play.
Yeah, they're just checking the restart. I mean, Robert Louis, I think he knocks the ball backwards, but I think from that knock back, it eventually goes dead off Robert Louis.
So he knocks it onto the leg of Runciman, and then that goes out. But because he hasn't played it,
he hasn't played it, and he's knocked it against him.
Restart.
Well, they were close.
And you like that effort, though, don't you? The short kicking game from both sides has been quite good in the game. When he kicks that ball, Robert Louis chases up really hard, tries to pat it back. Unfortunately, can't get it to his teammate. But efforts like that go a long way towards winning you a game.
Yes, Salford have got the sniff of something here. Farnworth trying to work it away, but Junior Sound, Kopjak making sure he doesn't make too much progress.
Said Eddie, he doesn't respect any reputations, that young lad.
Miller gets it wide. Here comes Bella Haraki again. Not long ago he was in the red of Salford. Houston once again.
Good line speed again from Salford.
That's 4 gone. Widnes still inside their own half. Get over the halfway line here now, once again with Jeremiah, but only just. Gerrard. Last one called by referee James Child. So what's the kick going to be like from Craven? High, that's what it's going to be like. Littlejohn can hear him coming. Jeremiah, he did well, got feet down on the ground, and Jeremiah timed the challenge well.
That's good stuff from Salford. They finished the back end of that set, challenging through Robert Louis in that chase. Good defensive set, and at last this player's got a little bit of a broken defensive line. He's a long way to go to get near the try line, but his involvement Terry O'Connor talked about not waiting for the game. Maybe Junior South has to go looking for the ball a bit more.
They come forward again, do Salford. It's Lannan, plays it to Tompkins, and it's Louis again. He's involved in everything that is good in attack for Salford, is Robert Louis. This is Bibby. Did I tell you he was 22 on Sunday coming up, and his 40th Salford appearance? Well, he is. And this is the last tackle. Louis again. That's gone above the stand roof here. That's well claimed by Danny Craven.
Oh, didn't he do well to focus on catching that ball with a number of red jerseys in front of him? Sometimes you've got to wish that ball to land in a position that you want, but that's a great take.
Yeah, bravery. Houston switches it wide to Mellor. If Louis is the catalyst for the attack for Salford, Mellor most certainly is for Widnes. But on halfway, 3 tackles gone. Mellor Haraki again.
Move, we're back. Hold. Go far.
Johnson gives it to Gilmore. Up the middle to go with Jay Chapel-Howe.
There's no excuse for this not to be a great attacking kick here. Players need to get under it.
Up it goes. They're after it, Alberson. Well claimed, though, by Jake Bibby.
This is a good arm wrestle, this. Both sides going set for set. For Widnes, the involvement.
Oh, that's high. That's one of the rare errors that Alberson has made tonight.
Playing out of position, of course, tonight. Sticks his arm out, catches Chris Wellham just around or above the shoulders. But the involvement and the influence that Mellor and Gilmore are having on the game from Widnes, it's going to be a fitness and a stamina exercise for Salford. They've got 2 less players. Rotation will be affected. Players will have to play longer minutes and focus and concentrate for longer.
You boys have got all the stats in front of you. Am I right in saying there's not been too many unforced errors tonight from these 2 sides? It's not bad quality.
Yeah, not many errors at all, Eddie.
Move! 3.
And also not many penalties as well.
There's one.
Well, as soon as I said it.
It's a little tug on the ankle of Ryan Lannan, who's making his 50th career appearance, and he wanted to get on with the play quickly.
And just comes from a decent carry, that leaving a couple of players on the wrong side of the ruck.
So they tap the penalty. There's no point going for 2 when they're 4 down. So here is Lamatazi again. And it's Logan Tompkins and Kopjak. Widnes' defence has been pretty solid. Can it be here again now? As Wood finds Louis. Louis then gives it to Little John, and Bibby is over in the corner. That try will level things up. Jake Bibby, an early birthday present, his 8th try of the season. He's the joint top scorer coming into this match with Niall Evans, who's out injured. He takes the lead now with 8 tries. Jake Bibby, Salford's leading try scorer. A try here last year in a 30-10 win against Widnes. He's got a try here that levels the scores.
Well, there's a high shot from Alderson that relieves all the pressure. They get down into that decent field position I'm talking about. A good effort from Ryan Lannan here. Gets through the line. Aaron Hermeyer, the second little effort, holding on to his ankle. And when they go over to the right-hand side, again, Robert Louis, that key indicator to where the ball's going. And Tom Gilmore, he just wedges in. He's probably fearful of what Robert Louis is going to do. The dummy runner created the space out the back from Jack Littlejohn and creates that space for Jake Bibby.
There's been some real hard work from Salford over the last 7 or 8 minutes. I know we've had 10 minutes of the second half. Their endeavour, their hard work, it's all come off the back of kick chase, being disciplined in their approach. It was a wonderfully executed play to put Bibby in the corner. Can Robert Louis convert it and make 4-6?
Well, he's not had the easiest kicks tonight, Robert Louis. We have gone 25 minutes without a point being scored up to that moment. The boys have been saying it is a real tight arm wrestle, and it has been. This is a big kick for Louis. Can he make it? 3rd time lucky? No. Drags it in front of the posts. Throws the kicking tee down in disgust, but it was a difficult kick again.
It's a quality try, and it's some good passing, some good line movement. We saw a very similar one in the first half, which Robert Louis said on the end. Nice catch and pass from Jack Littlejohn. And you know, it's probably interesting what Widnes were talking about behind the post as they lined up that kick and waited. At exactly the same time last week, the score was exactly the same in the south of France. The Vikings were arm wrestling down in Perpignan and sadly lost the grip of the match from now on. Have they learnt anything, and can they now wrestle the way back into this? Because, as the boys have pointed out here, defensively, Salford are looking a little bit stronger than their opponents for the last 5 or so minutes.
It's also worth mentioning that what Salford did is they really isolated Tom Gilmore. He made an incorrect read defensively, jumped out of that line, left some space. His influence with the ball is massive, along with Joe Mellor. He's got to trust the defenders around him.
Oh, Logan has lost that. It was a grab at the arm. I think it was the experience of Chris Houston. Although they're all patting each other on the back. No, it's Matt Whitley who got to him. Well, Matt Whitley caused the error.
He goes the wrong side, doesn't he? Logan Tompkins. And he spots a defender on the floor. He thinks that he's got Weller Haraki, who's a late retreater. He's trying to target him, get on the outside of Chris Houston, who's going to have to make amends for the late retreater.
And that's what Matt Whitley does well. He's a hunter for possession back for his team. Now they've got it though. The other problem is he's the top try scorer for Widnes, 7 so far this season. Either he needs to find a way of sneaking over the line, or his teammates do more often, because they're going to need some points to win this one.
Here he is again then, Whitley. His 90th Widnes appearance. Had a couple of tries in vain in the cup defeat against Leeds. And Chapel Howe once again. This time Jay it is. He'll go down under the challenge from Kopjak. Gilmore drops the pass off Mellor. He's lost the ball. Robert Louis drops on it gratefully and starts the response, but Gilmore managed to dislodge the ball from him, so it's errors either side. What did I say 3 minutes ago? Not many errors.
Not many penalties. It was a great read.
It was a good read from Salford. What they've done really well in the second half is they've got good line speed. They're up, and rather than being up in 1s and 2s, they're up as a defensive line.
He's got to carry his run outside of Robert Louis, step back into the action where there's 3 players in, and Robert Louis, well, he might have hit that ball with his left hand, but there is space outside of Robert Louis.
Okay, Rob, follow me.
Last Super League win at Salford for Widnes, September 2013, 24 points to 4. Good offload there to Tompkins. Here's Junior Sau. Little goose step as he draws 3 defenders to him. They've got to go 3/4 of the length of the field though here, Salford, to get across the line. Lannon again. Logan Tompkins is waiting, scheming at dummy half, comes into centre field and he finds Louis. He drops the pass off. Greg Burke.
Hold. Go 3.
And Louis again. Here goes George Griffin. Second row for George Griffin in the last 4, despite the fact that he wears 10 on his back. In the old days, that was just purely and simply a prop forward.
Go.
Logan Tompkins.
Outside.
John gets the kick away again. It's high. Ooh, Craven allows it to bounce. It nearly escaped him because Josh Wood was hurtling in towards him and got in the tackle initially, and he's then finished off by Griffin, who then concedes the penalty because he had his hand on Craven's arm as he was trying to get up off the floor and was trapping him on the deck.
Alrighty, coach killers then. Get through your set, you get him down here, the confidence is building. Look at that, Danny Craven nowhere to go. Then when he catches that ball, just trying to hold on to the ball, and then Danny Craven comes down on his hand.
Actually, Craven was holding his hand down.
He lent pressure, he lent pressure to come down on his elbow.
Gave the impression he was being held down. That's why James Child gave the penalty.
Pat Van now warming up on the sideline. That could be a big plus for Widnes if he's okay to come back on the field. Charlie Runciman's been playing out on the wing. Jordan Johnston as well, find himself out over on the left-hand side, who's naturally a hooker.
Mellor gets it wide to Haraki. It goes further wide to Ryan Ince. Come forward once more with Gerrard. Kopjak and Tarzi. Logan Tompkins low down. This is Ted Chapel Howe. Trying to break the line. It's a good, solid enough run, but it's on tackle number 5, 22 metres out. Here's Gilmore. His kicks have undone Salford tonight. A dab to the corner. Just too deep, though, it was. It was a decent enough effort from Danny Craven.
Heavy challenge, and he stayed down on the floor.
It was very heavy.
Got a head injury, mate. I can't
Not sure whether there's contact with the head when he comes through here.
Lamatazi on Tom Gilmore, it is. Or was it late?
Well, I think it's part of the tackle, but you know, it's the contact with the head after that. It's a careless tackle, I would call it, more than anything else.
I don't think it's late, though. I think Lamatazi was committed to the tackle.
They are putting pressure on him, making him make decisions in defence, taking some of that time away from him. Maybe to get a little bit deeper, buy himself a bit more time.
One thing we haven't seen much of tonight, Stuart, is intervention by the video referee for alleged or possible foul play on the field. There has been a lot of criticism of it this year.
Well, I think they've been doing it, you know, pretty efficiently tonight. There has been communication between the two, but it's been good and hasn't affected the speed of the game.
This is Kopchak for Salford.
And that's all we want, Stuart, isn't it?
Tazi.
Well, Alex Gerrard turning around to referee, thinking that Lamatazi dropped that ball then.
Robert Louis gets the ball away to Little John. He did well to hang on, but then he put in a little bit of a slack pass, which is deemed to have been a knock-on, but Chris Welland says, I never touched it.
So now, I need to call there, Scott.
Widnes. I thought there was a hand in there from Widnes here. Have a little look at when he goes at the line. No, there's not.
Well, the touch judge has changed the call.
Well, James Child gave a knock-on against Widnes, and the touch judge has told him that it was a knock-on. Knock-on by Salford first, and then they changed it to knock-on by Widnes.
Well, he releases the ball with his left hand, but then it's his right hand that touches it.
So James Child got it right first time, and the touch judge has confused him. Is that what you're saying?
Looks that way.
Okay, ball there.
Louis feeds the scrum anyway. Salford won't be complaining. This is Wood. And it's that man, Ryan Lannon, again, doing some hard work with the hard yards down the middle. Logan Tompkins. Burke again. He was doing that sort of thing for Widnes not long ago. Here is Tompkins. Wood to Louis. Tackle. Very good tackle by Wella Haraki. Junior Sow, another of the Salford danger men. Gets them to within 7 or 8 metres on tackle number 4. 2 left. Louis again. Short ball. Griffin almost through. Very good tackle needed by Gilmore. Penalty because of the hands in there in the ruck by Aaron Herramiah.
Penalty on the last play, the 5th tackle, Eddie.
I don't think he wants the responsibility to kick it, does he, Robert Louis? He's out of breath, he's bent over. His teammates have contemplated 2 points, but he's showing less interest.
He's walking away from it, he's got his back to them. And they're going to run it. They're running it here. Tompkins and Burke again. Well, penalty on the last tackle after you withstood a bit of pressure. And now you've got to do it all over again. And Kopchak takes it forward.
He's made a massive impact in Craig Kopchak.
And Craven is slow to get off him. Tompkins. There is Wood. He threatened to pass to the left-hand side. Widnes read the script in the end.
Drop goal.
Good work. Up. Knock on.
Drop goal, drop ball.
Well, when Mike Stevenson retired, he passed on the 1-point baton to me earlier, and I think for these two teams, where they sit in the league table, 1 point would mean more than that to them. It would certainly be a significant boost mentally. They've lost the ball, so there's no way of considering it here now. But
Ted Chappellow's in the ruck. He can't really get out. He's trying to roll away. And when Josh Wood gets up and tries to play the ball and put it down, he puts it down on Ted Chappellow.
And there's a difference between a man lying at the back of the ruck, affecting the ball coming away. He's got the responsibility of placing the ball on the ground, not on the player in front of him. And that's why the knock-on's being given.
So it's a head and feed to Widnes, which is relieving, to say the least, for the Vikings. Arvan is back out the sin bin, out of the medical bin, and immediately gets a penalty for a high shot.
I was just about to say it's important for Widnes, really, now that they get through this set, they get to the kick, they're better on the first play, they get a penalty here from the shot from Lamatasi. Very physical player, Lamatasi. Unfortunately for his teammates, that's an illegal challenge on the winger.
And it's a relieving penalty for Widnes, this. So they'll try and get it up the other end of the field if they possibly can. Ted Chappell with the first run, twin brother Jay with the second. Down he goes on tackle number 2. 12 apiece, just about an hour gone. Mellor gets a short ball away to Matt Whitley. Good tackle by Junior Sow. Helped out by Ryan Lannon. Here is Jeremiah now. Josh Wood standing his ground. Widnes inching forward. 4 tackles gone, 18 metres away. The Chapel Howe twins combine. It's Gilmore. Gilmore stabs the kick in. Wellham picks it up. And he noticed that the referee was in between him and a Widnes defender.
Eddie, that was a great decision, poorly executed. Just didn't put enough weight on that kick, Tom Gilmore. There was an acre of space, players flooding up in support, and Salford get their hands on the ball. As I say, really enjoyable arm wrestle this.
Tazi, it's a vital 2 points that's on offer tonight. And both coaches before the match reluctant to call it a 4-pointer, but the 4-pointer it most certainly is at this stage of the season. Remember, the big split comes after round 23. Top 8 go for Old Trafford, bottom 4 aim to get away from relegation to the Championship. This is Robert Louis. This is Robert Louis. A great ball away. Wonderful pass. Louis on again after he took the return from Daryl Alford. 6 to go.
Well, Alford gets the ball, and obviously there must have been a Widnes hand in that then, because it's back to 0.
What a chance for Salford then. What a chance for Greg Burke then. Ankle tap, and he rolls over and scores against his parent club. Greg Burke allowed to make the trip across from Widnes to Salford on loan. Well, Haraki going the other way, and Ian Watson's men might just have taken a vital stranglehold on this match. It's only 4 points, but this game has had nothing in it all night. Greg Burke, against the club that paid his wages for most of this season, has given Salford the lead.
Well, Robert Louis over on that left side. He beats Aaron Jeremiah, keeps his legs pumping, and there's a grasp and a grapple. And Widnes gets some hands to it. Joe Mellor, the offender, Robert Louis on hand. But what about the line from Greg Burke? This try will be really sweet. A wrong read by Alderson, who goes in, creates the space, opens the door for the big front row to stroll through.
Well, that's it. Tom Alderson needs to have more faith in the inside man. I think it was Ted Chappell who scores against the club that he represented. He's been in good form this year.
Greg Burke, second try of the season. First try of the season for Widnes in a home win against Salford. Second try of the season in a possible home win for Salford against Widnes. Talk about role reversal.
Well, he would have been well and truly revved up for this game, wouldn't he?
Well, I've not seen him move that fast. I don't think in his Widnes career he really did. He bounced up, Rolly pulled it up over the line and got the ball down again. But his try, Eddie, you're right, at home for Widnes, put them ahead at an important point in the match. And this time it's on the same for the Reds.
So Robert Louis has missed the first 3, but they've been wide out. This is bang in front. You would want to say this is a certainty. Nothing ever is in this game, but you would think that Louis will, and he does.
Well, it's obvious to me that the Reds have been the best team in the third quarter of this game. From half-time on, they've dominated with and without the ball, and they finally now converted the second chance. The passing tries, the attacking play of the Salford side looks superior to that for Widnes. Widnes are hoping for some sort of kick at the other end of the field to bounce the way through and get a ricochet and a try. But some good passing plays from Ian Watson's team have given them a 6-point lead.
Desperation now for Widnes to try and get back into this match. We'll have some masterclass rugby league with Luke Gale, the man of steel, at 10 o'clock tonight on Sky Sports Action, right after we're finished here at the AJ Bell Stadium. And please don't miss this tomorrow. It's the champions against the league leaders, and in some people's eyes, the champions-elect of 2018. Leeds Saints tomorrow, 7:30. Salford have given the ball away, meanwhile, and now Arvan has given the ball away, so they'll go back to the original offence, and Widnes will get head and feet.
Well, I think it's Tom Gilmore, not known for some big shots. Oh no, it's Charlie Runciman who gets underneath. Oh, it was Tom Gilmore over the top.
Just back up, Aaron.
Charlie Runciman hits the ball. Yeah. George Griffin loses it, offloads the ball then to Pat Arvan, who can't take the tackle and hold on to the pass. And the more this game goes on, Eddie, with what, 17 minutes to go, the more pressure's on Widnes, who have to start forcing that pass, who have to start going into contact, offloading the ball.
Arms around tight.
They refer back to the subs, the interchange, 15 fit players. There will be some tired bodies and minds in those red shirts. They have to focus.
And Widnes have to put the pressure on, and that's great defence.
Eddie, when I looked at that set-up play from the scrum then, Widnes had 3 attackers against 1 defender.
And this was on the first tackle.
Yeah, it was the men in the scrum that spotted that broke quickly. Look at this. They break quickly. They open up the play for Widnes, saying, yeah, all right, if you want to have a go at us, go and have a go. You have your 3 attackers against our 1 defender. That's great defence from the scrum.
Broke almost before the ball was even out, didn't they? They were out so quickly.
Runciman dumped over the line. Salford then will get head and feet at this scrum.
Heads in on the L call.
I wonder whether Widnes, if they lose this, Francis Cummings will then say, right, we know where we're going to be after round 23. We're going to be fighting for our lives. I wonder whether he will experiment between now and the end of the season, because there's big challenges ahead in the qualifiers.
Well, he'll be wanting to get his team playing, right? He'll need to be picking the side that he wants to go into those qualifying 8s with. Like I said before, he's got 3 players that are going to be coming back in the next few weeks, like Chris Ninu.
Well, he'll be vital.
Gil Dudson.
And I would say, sorry, Tez, I think that's an example of tiredness. Ryan Lannon, who's done a lot of work in this game, along with a lot of the Salford players.
Dr. McDermott is saying this is cramp.
Yeah, it's
looks that way.
It's just cramp, mate.
It looks that way.
He's not really in the way, mate.
Is that embarrassing at 64 minutes into the match that a player...
I don't know whether embarrassing is the right word. I think it's an indication of how much work that player has put in.
Well, surely though he would train and prepare to play for 60+ minutes in a match.
Maybe not. Maybe he puts all his effort into those small bursts, as the modern day player does now. We don't know the conditions.
It's just cramp, mate.
It is cramp.
Let's go, guys.
It's been a very intense game, a lot of nerves, a lot of tension.
Okay, Jack.
Well, he's needing a bit of a stretch, is Ryan Lannon. Nakambawai. The new Petro Sivanasiva, they called him, in Australia, in the NRL, when he was at the Gold Coast. It's quite a rap. By the way, in about 3 or 4 minutes' time, the voting will open on the Our League app for the Betfred Super League Man of the Match tonight. We'll have 4 nominations for you to vote on from our Super League legend who's been watching the game with us tonight. You can then go to your mobile devices. You can log into your Our League app. There's quite a few you're knocking about now with the Our League app from all accounts.
I'd be amazed if Robert Louis is in the 4.
Offside, wasn't he, Jay Chapelhow?
So it's a knock-on.
I know, but didn't Chapelhow pick it up in front of him?
It looked like that, Eddie. It sure
The player who
looked
went
like
to
that.
catch it ended up in front of him. If you watch, by the time he gets to play it, I think that's the view that James Charles had anyway.
Another outstanding kick and an energetic, enthusiastic chase from Salford.
The man who knocked it on actually ends up in front of him, so he's not offside.
They make that happen, Salford. That's the point I'm making. There's enough red shirts in the frame to make it uncomfortable and difficult.
It's Jack Littlejohn. It's Jack Littlejohn again, who's the man who's putting pressure on his opposition and his opponent, Danny Craven.
Off the back of a Robert Louis high hanging kick.
So Wood gives it to Junior Sau. It's a great opportunity here for Salford, and here's an even bigger opportunity. A high shot, bang in front of the sticks. Surely 2 points. Surely 2 points will be forthcoming from Robert Louis.
Yeah, you've got to try and hit him with absolutely everything. So powerful. The former Kiwi international and Samoan international. Straight in front of the stick. Surely they'll go for 2 points here. A shake of the head from Jay Chapelou. One of the biggest men on the pitch against one of the smallest men. When I say he's small, he's so powerful. His leg driving collision keeps pumping those legs forward.
Just on the line, guys.
Doesn't ever want to be dominated, really, and fought to get that penalty.
Just on the line, mate.
Well, Widnes haven't come back from behind in many games this year, but the one they did was the last win against the Salford side. They scored 12 points. Ian Watson not happy there. Well, it's too late for him to get his message out, but he's not happy, is he, with the message that he's trying to get?
He's worse than not happy. He's absolutely fuming. He wants the instructions he's giving to the sideline on the pitch to the important players.
And do you not think this is a wise decision and such a tight match, this?
It might have been communicating about something else, that it may not have been about this decision. It could have been about a substitution or...
Tell the referee's parked in the wrong spot. Something like that, maybe.
Well, the Vikings have got to fight back here now, haven't they? I said when they won last time, they scored 12 points in the last 11 minutes. They're going to need 2 tries here now. And you look at the body language, they're not really busting to get back to halfway line.
Well, he's come downstairs now, as Ian Watson, to get his message across, face to face, as it were.
Ed Chamberlain he's talking to, the former Widnes player. He wants Ed Chamberlain to pass that information on, or he actually wants the involvement of that player.
This will be a short kick-off, won't it now? Surely it will be.
Ed Chamberlain has been cooling his heels on the sideline. Only 12 minutes remaining, and yes, Terry, it's a really short kick-off.
Eddie, when you're losing by 8 points and the clock's against, you've got 12 minutes to go. You need the ball back as quick as possible.
I'm not saying you were wrong calling for the tactic, but they didn't listen to you. That's why you're not a coach, old boy. Amongst a number of reasons, but anyway, that's for another day. Here comes Robert Louis again for Salford. 8 points the difference. 11.5 minutes remaining. George Griffin for the Red Devils, upended by the challenge of Jeremiah. Burke, the latest try scorer, Wood gets it away. Ryan Lannan, they get another penalty here. Salford. It's all going their way at the moment.
I think it's Chris Houston for a shot.
Let's give him some space.
On Greg Burke. Greg Burke stayed down on the ground when he goes at the line and delivers the pass.
Junior Sal just giving a slap on the backside then. Chris Houston.
Okay. All right, Chris. Just give us some space, mate. We don't need it yet at the moment.
He fell into him, didn't he? He was falling, Greg Burke.
I would agree with that, Phil. I would agree with that.
He collapses his legs after he's passed the ball.
Well, that's the same as the one before. Was it Pat Arban and Nakambawa when he goes into the tackle?
I don't think it's a late tackle or anything like that. I don't think there's a great deal of foul play in it. He sort of falls back. Yeah, referee's given a penalty already. He's seen it as.
But watch here now. He drops both feet. He's on his knees, and he's stood in front of him. He can't reverse out of the tackle, and luckily he's going to be okay because it was a bad fall for him. But
it was just contact with the head, wasn't it? So
and that's what
we've seen all year.
They're having a discussion about whether it's contact with the head. There is contact with the head. It's been confirmed, and so they're going to give the penalty.
Okay, well the voting is now open for your man of the match vote while we watch James Child just preparing.
The tackle is late without the ball, and you make contact with the head.
He's going to get 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Wow. Off we go.
That's another. I think that's harsh as well.
Where you go, mate?
Do you know it? Like the Widnes players will be shaking their head. Francis Cummins will be shaking his head because what happened in the first half was exactly the same. A player.
Oh, well. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that. He's off. He's off. Ironic applause from Chris Houston. He gets the red card from James Child. It was 10 minutes. He'll be back for the latter stages of the match, and that reaction means James Child will have none of it.
Well,
and it's a red card.
Retiring at the end of the year as well. Chris Houston, former Newcastle Knights player, and
wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but he left James Child with no options, Stuart.
Absolutely not. Shouldn't have to take that. Regardless of whether you think the first one warranted a yellow card or not, certainly didn't need that reaction.
You just take those decisions, Eddie, and you, as you say, 10 minutes on the sim bin and you come back on.
He might have been needed if it was 20 points to 18 or something like that. Anyway, he's in the dressing rooms for the rest of the night. He's off. And Widnes in all sorts of trouble at the bottom of the table now, have to play on for the last 10 minutes of this first half, reduced to 12 men on the field. Nakambawa, meanwhile, finds Louis. Louis' pass goes behind Little John. He covers up as Whitley comes in and makes the tackle. Louis again, don't think he expected that. This is Logan Tompkins.
You're right, he wants to get his breath back, Robert Louis. He's been involved in everything. Calling for the ball here, he wants it.
Fires it wide. Ooh, brilliant pick-up by Junior Sow. Sow chasing his own kick. Danny Craven lets it go. It's a 7-tackle restart. So let's just tell you who the candidates are. Robert Louis and Chris Wellham of Salford. Tom Gilmore, Joe Mellor of Widnes. They are the contenders for the Betfred Super League Man of the Match. Via the Our League app, you can make your vote now. There's a high shot then on Ryan Ince.
A change of direction at the line is always good for a high shot now and again, Lamatasi, because he is so committed. He plants his feet, he looks to launch into you. Look at the way he sets himself for Ryan Ince. He thinks he's going to come across his pathway. This could be a chance that they needed.
Last time we were here, we had a man for St Helens sent off, but of course it was a 60-odd point win, wasn't it, for the Saints that night? This is a little tighter, to say the least. But Widnes having to come from behind.
And this is where Tom Gilmore and Joe Mellor need to take control here.
And it's with Gilmore, and now it's with Craven. Craven gets the ball away to Mellor. Mellor trying to jink his way past the defenders, but Burke and Tarzik saw to it he wasn't going anywhere. And it's Ted Chapelhow with a solid run to the line, or just short of it. Heremiah spins it wide to Mellor again, drops the pass off. Chance here for Wella Haraki, but halted by Nakambawa. Back it comes once more. Gilmore with the kick. Runciman tries to flick it on. Was that knocked on by Salford? Yes, it was. Alberson has it. 6 to go. 0 tackle. 6 to go from here. Arvan. Big challenge on this Salford defence now to stand firm. Widnes get a try here. The fat will be in the fire. It's Gilmore. Gilmore. Heremiah has dropped it cold. They haven't taken advantage of the slight opportunities that have been offered them tonight, Widnes.
Well, they were set up over on the right-hand side, and the pass couldn't be took by Aaron Heremiah in the frustration on the coach, Francis Cummins.
Welcome back to the coaching ranks, Francis Cummins.
He's going to get a few more greys over the next few weeks, isn't he?
Well done to Salford. Under pressure, near their own line. I said with that rotation, 15 fit players, 2 less than their opposition. I thought that might be the telling factor as we see Greg Burke leave the field.
Still not used though, one of the subs that they've had for the Salford, they had Chamberlain.
Yeah, they've had 2 men down all night.
But as this game has gone on, it's been the Salford players that have looked mentally more able to cope with the stresses and strains of this game.
Then when you look at the likes of what that man's done when he's carried the ball and he's got involved, Robert Louis, Jack Littlejohn, so Craig Kopchak, Lamatasi, Greg Burke.
I think it was you that said it, Tez. When Craig Kopchak came on for his first stint, too hard to handle, quick play of the balls, smart, intelligent runs and offloads. He made a massive difference along with that player.
And there's Kopchak, Nakambawa, the man now playing the ball. Here comes Lamatazi. They have the the belief now, Salford, they can push on and win this in the last 6 minutes or so. Here's one of your contenders for the Betfred Man of the Match. It was a good shot by Alderson. The ball, though, has ended up with Salford. Last tackle, though, coming up.
Well, that's how you deal with Robert Louis when he's running at the line.
Here he is again. That's good play from him. Drills the ball out of touch. One of the contenders for the Man of the Match with Chris Wellham of Salford, Joe Mellor and Tom Gilmore of Widnes. Voting is now alive on the Our League app.
There's nothing complicated in the plays, really, from Salford. It's hard work, it's energy, it's effort, desire. The forwards running hard onto the ball. Then you've got the players with the class out wide. And all the direction coming from Robert Louis because no Jake Shorrock's on the pitch.
That is a good point, that he's effectively doing the work of two thinkers out on the field. I know that Josh Wood is out there, but more accustomed to the 9, played a little bit in the halves as a junior player.
And you can see he's caught the eye of the voters. He's leading the Man of the Match vote by a mile. And 20 is certainly the magic number for Salford tonight, because they've scored 20 points or more in 5 games this year, and they have won each and every one of them. They could easily be on the way to a 6th 20 points or more victory. That's a little knock on, though, by Jake Bibby. That'll waste a few more seconds for Salford. Widnes dash to the scrum.
And do you know what else it is, Eddie? It's a confidence boost going into the qualifying 8 if both of these sides do end up in that qualifying 8 and they play each other.
Well, exactly, but this just might be a night when Salford, they don't exactly clear their mind about that, but Ian Watson knows that this win, if it is going to be a win, is priceless to get into the 8 again.
Yeah, it is, and like I said, obviously the 2 league points are so valuable, but what's more important, I think, for both of the coaches when they went into this game is getting the performance right, nailing an 80-minute effort where you're going to challenge opposition.
2 smart young British coaches as well, both 41 years of age, only 15 days between both coaches. Francis Cummins,
I'm glad you were listening earlier on.
No, I'm just...
He was listening to what you said before.
I am backing up what you said.
Can I say that makes a change if he's listening?
I was just going to say, as Eddie said,
No,
2 great coaches.
Until you saw my face, you weren't going to say a thing.
Fabulous coaches. Both with their backs against the wall, having to do the best with limited resources.
There goes Joe Mellor.
Well, that's good work from Little John. He comes to the rescue. Just to put this win into perspective, Salford, if they do hang on for the next 4.5 minutes, they'll join the Catalan Dragons on 12 points, but they'll have played 2 games more.
Time off.
There's a chance here, as you say, for Mellor, but he just couldn't get the legs.
You know, good positioning from Little John as well. He didn't jump the line, didn't put pressure on Joe Mellor, because he knew that he would have been exposed at the back, because he's the full-back. They were short on the blind side. That's why he was defending over there.
Salford 12 points if they win this with Catalan, 1 point behind Huddersfield Giants, who are just in the top 8 after their recent revival. They're breathing down the necks of the Giants. Widnes in danger of being cast adrift even further over the weekend. Francis Cummins knows that. Huddersfield against Catalan, by the way, tomorrow is absolutely vital. That's great defence again. He's played well as Junior Sow. He's had a lot of support
even
over on that far side from Daryl Alfords.
Well, even Alfords, just look at his first contact here. He hits him, he holds him up, he knows that there's going to be some inside pressure. And Ryan Ince is a big, powerful man, let me tell you. He's trying to get down, but he's just totally manhandled.
Watch the patience from Junior Sow. He's on his toes, waits for the play to unfold, moves across to help his winger. And look at the unity, look at the joy in the faces of those players. With a few minutes to go, it looks like they might get the win and the victory in Ian Watson's side.
Well, it's a first victory in 6. They've lost each of the last 5, so this is a big win for Salford tonight. And as I say, taking them to within touching distance of Huddersfield and Huddersfield Catalan tomorrow.
And they'll be disappointed, Eddie, getting knocked out of the Challenge Cup by the Leeds Centurions, won't they?
Oh yes, that was a big blow.
So that would really affect them as well. But
and when you think after 50 minutes last week, 43-0 down, this is a big turnaround for them. Big reaction that Ian Watson has gleaned from his players. Knock on though here. There is, well, is there hope with an 8-point gap with 3.5 minutes to go for Widnes?
Well, it'd have to be a miracle, I think, Eddie. He looks to offload that ball. They can do that with leading by 8 points, and I think a lot of soul searching went on during the week from the Salford players. I said to be 43-0 down. At half-time, just not good enough.
Well, they haven't won, Salford, since the 20th of April when they beat Wakefield 38 points to 4.
Wait a minute, just wait.
Sow.
Okay, ball in.
Try in the second minute. They never look back after that. Oh, here is Robert Louis. It's been gifted to him by Craven. And this will put the seal on a vital victory. And Robert Louis touches down. Will go home, I think, with the Man of the Match award. We'll find that out later. But more importantly for Salford, he has scored the try that clinches this win. And a vital win it is. 24 points to 12 for Ian Watson's side. Kick to come. Danny Craven with the error, he's on his knees, and so are Widnes at the bottom of the table.
Well, a great try, and just rewards for Robert Louis. When he began this match with Jake Shorrocks, he was in a position to do the thinking of the team. As you get older, you get paid for what you know. When you're younger, you get paid for what you do. But he's had to do both. He got up quick, he charged that ball down, and those old legs have carried him and Salford Reds home. Great performance from him.
Well, it's the second try that Salford have scored over on that right-hand side from a kick from Widnes, trying to thread the ball through the line. Danny Craven couldn't get the kick away that he wanted. It goes to that man, Robert Louis. He's been pulling all the strings all night, Eddie. And so important to this side.
Stuart, newcomers to the game, and maybe some old heads as well will look at that and say, well, wasn't that a Robert Louis knock-on? But it was a charge down from a kick.
It is. Definition of a charge down is blocking the path of a rising kick with hand or arm.
Not hands, plural.
No, not, well, any part of your hand, hands,
or
arms,
arm, or
body.
arm. Okay.
Yeah. So in easy terms, just charging the ball down.
And an easy 4 points for him, which is going to become 6. 26-12. It looks like an easy day at the office in many ways for Salford. It's been anything but that. Widnes have shown a little bit of commitment all night, but the red card for Chris Houston has cost them dearly.
In both sides, when you look through the season, there's been frustrations from both sets of players, but yeah, that could have been a turning point, Eddie. Ian Watson knows that it's a valuable win that was needed, the 6th win of the year. Talking to Martin Gleeson now, Willie Porchin in the background. Been under pressure, well, they've got the result. Players missing.
And players missing all night. And I think Ed Chamberlain's still not been on, has he? Well, there's a knock on. Oh, he is on now, isn't he, Ed Chamberlain? Of course he is. Well, that wasn't a knock on either.
There he is now. There's Ed Chamberlain against his former club.
Hold.
Last minute of the match, Salford have won. The agony continues for Widnes. A little respite, not for him, Francis Cummins. Agony for him.
It's a gutsy win, this, I think. Again, I look at the forwards, what the forwards doing. They're making meters after contact.
And if they do slip into the bottom 4 or stay in the bottom 4, Salford, this is a marker, as you said earlier. And look at them now, they're playing with confidence.
It's amazing how your mindset changes when you've got a comfortable lead, and the players that he's got at his disposal. And let me tell you, he's one of the smartest players that have played with Ian Watson. And Francis Cummins will be so disappointed his second game in charge, come up with the second loss.
There it is. The full-time siren. Ian Watson's men have triumphed in this 4-pointer, they called it, at the bottom of the table. Catalan and Huddersfield have an argument to settle tomorrow. That will have some bearing on the bottom 4, there's no doubt about that. But Widnes just might be in the point of no return for them. We said they'd entered the last chance saloon tonight, these two sides. Well, Salford have kicked the doors open and gone back out into the daylight. Widnes, I'm afraid, they still have a real battle on their hands.
Well, they've got the right man in charge. Francis Cummins, the coach, only had a couple of weeks to try and mould and shape this team. Tez mentioned Ian Watson. I played with Ian Watson as well at Widnes, a very smart operator. I could say the same thing about Francis Cummins as a player and as a coach. Having been through it with Bradford, having been through all that toil, we'll know how to handle this situation and steer Widnes through it.
Well, it's ended as a win for Salford by 26 points to 12. The only detail we have to finalise now is who's won the Betfred Man of the Match. And we knew early in the piece it was going to be Robert Louis. And there he is talking to Angela.
There's your silver salver, man of the match, and you finished it off, the cherry on the cake with that try.
I was pretty lucky for that try, but I'll take it. I think it was a good win for us after, you know, losses, but we just turned around. We're going to look forward to the next back end of this season, and that's a good way to start with a win.
Really important 2 points there. You can't emphasise enough how much they are important.
Yeah, it is. The bottom half of the table is getting real tight, and teams are getting better and better each week, and it's just up to us to step up. We leave it all in God's hands. But it was good to get the win in front of our fans.
And you had the courage and the commitment really in that second half after being behind it in the first half as well.
Yeah, you get in them stages, especially when you're losing. When the tide turns, it's what you can give for your teammates, and I thought it was a positive attitude throughout the whole team, especially with our two captains. And then our captain got injured, but it was a good win for us.
Great character as well. Thanks, Robert. There's your cheque. Where's it going to go to?
My son's autistic, so it's going to their school.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, Springwood. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Robert. Thank you. Congratulations. We're going to speak to Francis Cummins now. Francis, the Widnes coach, can you just explain there what lost you the game? Can you sum it up?
Without swearing, I think we disrespected each other in the things we did there. I think we were in a good position at some stage in the game. I thought we were in charge of the field position, and then we decided to show an ill-disciplined side of ourselves and disrespected each other. And fair play to Salford, they kept going, they were down to the bare bones, but you're going to put a performance in like that, you don't deserve to come anywhere near.
Can I ask you what you thought about that yellow/red card on Chris Houston near the end?
Well, you've got to show the referee respect. I think, not sure about the initial one, but can't do that in a game, and I think he's let his teammates down.
You've had to do it so hard this season, Francis. The injuries have been awful, and it gets harder for you. What are you going to focus on in the latter half of this season now?
Well, first of all, not making excuses, and while it has been hard for us, we made it a lot harder for ourselves. And you know, if we all pull together, we can do it. You know, I can see it in the team. We show the team how we train and we deliver what we practice. You know, we'll make a few people, you know, a bit nervous.
Thanks for talking to us, Francis.
Thank you.
We've got the victorious coach now, Ian. I mean, it was a little bit kind of at the half-time, 12-8 down, and it was looking as though they were dominating, but you did something at half-time that bolstered your side.
Well, I think the big key for us was we completed sets tonight. That's the one thing that's been killing us. We've not been completing sets, and we've not been turning it over on our terms, and that was the big key that we spoke about again today. And once we do that, we're a good team.
That's if you've been asking them, haven't you, to actually act on the things you've been telling them, and they did that this second half?
Yeah, like I said, the second half at Hull, we kind of saw signs there that we could get back to us playing how we play with Jack at full-back. And I know we give, like I say, a few interceptions out on that, but that's kind of a learning curve for us. And today I thought we completed our sets well, like I say, turned over in good areas, and that's the key for us.
Going forward as well, it gives you a chance to get in that 8, and that's so vital for you.
Yeah, it's us not giving up on it. Everyone kind of writes off them. The boys face a lot of adversity here from lots of different areas as well. I'm just really proud, a lot of pride in the way they stand up for each other, and they come in every week and they don't dwell on it. They just move on and they want to work harder to make sure that we get the results, and that shows how good we are today, because once we complete, we're a good team.
Congratulations on the win.
Cheers, thanks, Angela.
Well, they stay in 10th spot but move up level on points with the Catalan Dragons. It's a significant win for the Salford Red Devils. They trailed 12 points to 8 at half-time, but they roared back with 3 second-half tries to take the 2 competition points as round 18 of the Betfred Super League gets up and running. Here's a look at the table and what it does to Salford. They moved now to within 1 point of the Huddersfield Giants, who are in action tomorrow against the Catalan Dragons. It's a massive game with ramifications for the sides at the bottom of the table. Widnes rooted at the bottom, 2 points off of Hull Kingston Rovers. And Phil Clark, following that second half capitulation, Widnes now would be odds-on favourites to finish in the bottom 4.
And Salford have got some qualities, because to score tries with a winger finding a gap, the overspace like that, is a play that they've done regularly. Again, good passing play for Greg Burke to go through in it. With a penalty goal then at 20 points to 12, they were in clear control here. This was the incident which was initially a yellow card, I think it's a harsh one perhaps, but I admire the referees for making these decisions. It's easy to sit and criticise cards, and there's no question that if you applaud the referee after being given a yellow, it turns to red. Finally the game finishes with Robert Louis, the star really, the leader and the talisman for the Salford side, and the man most important perhaps as they aim to make that top 8.
And that sealed a 26 points to 12 win for the Salford Red Devils, consigned Widnes to a 10th consecutive Super League defeat. It might point out that Greg Burke try coming in the second half, second try of the second half, to push it out to an 18-12 lead, having scores having been locked up. He's on loan from Widnes to Salford. It comes back to bite it, what is still his parent club.
It is, but I don't think it was an individual try, was it really? Another player playing in that position may have done it, and they'd obviously done the place. What both clubs, I think, worked and seemed happy, didn't they? They both felt as though they got the best part of the deal, and I suppose that is a deal when you get both parties thinking they benefited, but I don't think that was necessarily. I thought from the start of the second half, Salford were by far a better side, and I don't think the yellow or red card had much difference on the game.
OK, what does this game tell us then, Phil? Is it the Widnes Vikings in the bottom 4 and Salford still with a great hope?
Yes, Salford have got a fighting chance. Widnes, bottom 4 is best for them, and it's about trying to build some confidence before they get to the next phase of the season. OK,
no doubt Francis Cummins and the Widnes Vikings will not give up the fight. OK, here's what we've got coming up for you on Sky Sports. Sky Sports US Open channel. It is day 1 of the US Open that is on now. And following tonight's programme here on Sky Sports Action, we will have a Rugby League masterclass with Castleford's Luke Gale. Well worth the watch for that for any youngsters out there. Love their rugby league. Tomorrow night, there's plenty of spice around this fixture. That's off the field. On the field, the champions, the Leeds Rhinos, in action against league leaders St Helens, 7:30 p.m. We're over at Emerald Headingley Stadium in Leeds, 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports Action. Right, from the AJ Bell Stadium in Salford, Phil Clark, thank you very much for your company, and at home as well. We'll see you tomorrow over in Leeds. Congratulations to the Salford Red Devils.
Abide by the rules that were set before us, like nobody moves and no one gets hurt, and nobody changes, we'll all stay.
Mellor's kick through. Oh, it's a horrible bounce, and it's the first try. Left-footed from Gilmore. The ball bounces kindly for Wellham. Now then, it's a foot race because Wellham is quick. Good hands. Wellham, Chris Wellham looking for a second and gets it, Chris Wellham. Patrick Arvan, it's a trademark try from Widnes this. And Bibby is over in the corner. That try will level things up. What a chance for Greg Burke then, ankle tap, but he rolls over and scores against his parent club. Oh, here is Robert Louis, been gifted to him by Craven, and this will put the seal on a vital victory.
Sky Sports Action. Feel it all.
Just looking to pass. Earn the right to play, go forward.
Gale to Hardacre. Hardacre to Minikin. Wide to Eden. 31 for the season.
Make the most of your space with our new Rockwell barbecue range from £83. Want to transform your garden? You can do it when you're being Kiewit.
At Glasses Direct, all of these glasses are 2 pairs for £19, including lenses. You should go direct to glassesdirect.co.uk.